school football on Comcast Cable. Tonight from Quigley Stadium in Little Rock, the Central High Tigers and the Parkview Patriots. Taylor Carr along with Scott Philbrick. And Scott, a 1-5 team and a 5-1 team. Quite a bit of difference between these two clubs on the field tonight.
Well, absolutely. Just like the records are completely opposite, so is the talent really on these two football teams. And this game for Little Rock Parkview could get ugly if they don't do some different things from what they've done all season long. They're going to have to be a little bit out of the box for them tonight. They're going to have to do some unique things. And, of course, today they're also looking at Central High School, a 5-1 record, the fifth-ranked team in the Class 5A, according to Hooten's Arkansas football. They've got some great talent on that team. First and foremost, Dedrick Poole, one of the top running backs in the state of Arkansas.
Scott, this Parkview team coached by Ernest McGee, a team didn't have expectations. He's got some players out, though, and he feels he's got some talent in this club, but they've been overmatched in all games but one this year.
Absolutely. That game was last week, as a matter of fact. Their only victory of the season against Canton. They won 20-19, and they did some things that were outside of the box last week, which they're going to have to do this week. Last week, they scored a touchdown on a fake punt, passed the ball a little bit more. So those are the kind of things that Parkview's going to have to do tonight in order to be successful against this very tough Central Tiger team.
Now for Central, we've mentioned Dedrick Poole, their running back, number 30. How good is Dedrick Poole?
Dedrick Poole is extremely good. He's averaging 139 yards rushing per game this season. He's already racked up 11 touchdowns, and being compared to a Cedric Cobbs at this point. So he can break the long one. He's got some good speed. His size is not all that big. He's 5'10", 175 pounds, but look out when he gets around the corner, and all he needs is a crack to get through the hole, get the step, and he's gone for the long one.
You see the Parkview Patriots taking the field for the kickoff. Scott, on Central side, their coach, Bernie Cox, a legend in Arkansas, over 200 wins as a high school coach.
As a matter of fact, he got his 200th a couple of weeks ago. He is now at 202, so working on attaining number 300 down the road. But as you mentioned, a legend at Central High School and has had 5 state championships under his belt, an awesome winning percentage, and he's just a guy that is well known across the state, and he's a quality person as well.
Went to college at Harding University. Bernie Cox, longtime Central High coach, and this team could be one of his best in a while. Last year's team was 10-2, their best record since '91, and big things are expected for number 5 Central this year as well. And the Tigers will kick it off to start the ball game. Central and Parkview is underway from Quigley. Squib kick gets by the Parkview up man, rolls all the way back to the goal line. Parkview's got to scramble. They'll start in very, very poor field position after the ball squibs through, and Parkview will have to start back in its own territory.
Well, definitely the definition of a squib kick, number 32 for Parkview. Couldn't grab onto it, Jeff Holong, and by the time he picked it up, Central down there with their special teams and smothered him, and now Parkview starts in a big hole.
Parkview 1-5. They got their one win of the season, and last week beat Catholic 2019, had lost 5 straight at Jacksonville, to Camden, Fairview, and Arkadelphia, to Hall, and at Conway. And so they come in on a 1-game winning streak. Central, number 5 in the state, is 5-1. Both these teams play in the 5A Central. Antoine James is your Parkview High quarterback. He's got an eye in the backfield. First play from scrimmage, Parkview and Central. And the handoff is going nowhere.
Emmanuel Savage, number 83 for Central, getting in the backfield quickly, and we can see a lot of that tonight. Central High just blowing through the Parkview offensive line right here. As you can see, great penetration right up the middle. Savage with the penetration getting to the back, and had some help along the way, but a loss on the play.
34, Lawrence Bryant plays both ways for Parkview. Had an interception return for a touchdown in last week's win. And Parkview will start out with a loss. 2nd down and 12 for the Patriots, coached by Ernest McGee. And Bryant is your fullback. Again, the I formation, Parkview. James wants to throw. And will run and actually gain some yardage. So James on the keeper and picks up positive yardage for Parkview.
Yeah, James back to the original line of scrimmage. And Taylor, I like to see that early on for Parkview, because if they're going to have any success tonight, they're going to have to do things that they're not normally used to doing, and part of that is going to be throwing the football. And it's one of those situations that give it all you got, and if Parkview wins this ball game tonight, it probably could be classified as the biggest upset in the state of Arkansas this season.
Central had a big game earlier this season. They beat Conway 18-10 when those teams were ranked 7 and 8. And Central comes into this one ranked number 5 by our friends at Hooten's Arkansas. down and 10. James to throw on third down. Nearly picked off and off the fingertips of Central High's Charles Blake. The pass is incomplete.
Good defense by the secondary right there. And again, Parkview trying to get something going offensively with the pass. As you mentioned, this ball tipped a little bit on defense, and Central really coming out of the box good on defense and being aware of what Parkview is trying to do. Getting good penetration in the backfield. James having to scramble around.
Michael Pleasant is your deep back for Central. Parkview following its first possession will punt. Their do-everything man is Lawrence Bryant, back to kick for the Patriots. Central is going to play for the return. Bouncing kick, picked up, and Pleasant tries to go right side. Shakes a tackler and lost the football, finally recovered after he lost it. Larry Sanders on the recovery, and so Pleasant with the return. Picked up a few, dropped the ball. Pleasant got the recovery. Or Sanders got the recovery.
Well, that's a good play by number 29, Sanders, for Central. Way to be right there. Michael Pleasant plays a lot of running back as well, trying to get around to the outside, but good defense, good special teams coverage by 34 for Parkview. That is Lawrence Bryant on the play, forcing the fumble, and Sanders right there to pick it up.
And super field position to start. It's the 42-yard line of Parkview for Central High Tigers. And their big weapon on running back is 30, Dedrick Poole, the do-everything junior for the Tigers.
Yeah, and he was a super sophomore last year. Taylor mentioned the comparison with Cedric Hobbs, and last year Dedrick Poole set a sophomore record in the state of Arkansas, rushing for more than 2,200 yards, 11 touchdowns last season. So this is a guy that has 4.5 speed, bench presses 250 pounds.
Handoff this time goes to the fullback, Nick McGee. McGee's got a 5-yard gain. He's a player too. McGee's your fullback, and your tailback is Dedrick Poole. McGee has positive yardage. A third down and about 2 for the Tigers.
McGee, a good athlete as well, plays fullback and plays some tailback, plays some secondary. Coach Bernie Cox likes his potential at several different positions. And McGee sat out a lot last year with his shoulder injury, but he is completely healthy this year and a good lead block for Dedrick Poole.
Third down 2 for the Tigers. Keeper and close to first down yardage for quarterback Josh Sullivan. First down marker is almost exactly the 30, and he'll be within a few feet of it.
Josh Sullivan, a junior for Central, switches out a quarterback a lot with Derek Mason, another quarterback, a senior for number 11 for Central. A lot of times they like to put Sullivan in at quarterback because Derek Mason has got some good speed and some good hands, and they put him out at wideout a lot as they do on this play.
The keeper was short, and so less than a yard. Central goes for it on fourth down and about 2 feet. Sullivan with McGee and then Poole behind him. Sullivan, Dedrick Poole, first down and more for the junior. He's got a 5-yard gain, and flags fly at the end of the play.
Well, just a good push by the Central Tiger offensive line just to get Dedrick Poole a good burst up the middle. So we take a look at it right here, just driving Parkview off the line. And Poole just following his blockers, picking up the first down. And the flag comes in. We'll check on that.
That's the game's first down. Penalty goes against Parkview, and it's 1st and 10 for Central. They got the ball at the Patriot 20-yard line, and drive started at the Patriot 42.
That was a 5-yard face mask penalty against Parkview. Stepping it off for Central.
Tigers 1st and 10. Handoff inside. Patriot defense rises up in a nice defensive play by Parkview.
Nick McGee on the carry, 5'11", 180-pound junior. Last year they had a lot of sophomores on this team. They were called them super softs. This year they're some juniors and playing good football for Central, 5-1 on the season. Last year they didn't lose their first game until the last game of the season with J.A. Fair, and that cost them the conference title as well.
Our crew, Boyd, Blevins, White, also Grubbs, Sanders, the officiating crew, and on second down and about 8, whistles blow and no play. And again, a penalty against Parkview, so says referee John Boyd. This game actually has has playoff implications. Boyd, Blevins, White, Grubbs, and Sanders, the officials. If Central wins out this season, the Tigers would go to the playoffs and be guaranteed home field advantage all the way through. And so Central would like to win this game, and they come in, of course, the heavy favorite. Dedrick Poole hemmed in. Gets away. Boy, this guy can scoot. Can he get a blocker? Turns the corner. Dedrick Poole may go to the end zone. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Poole. What a run by Dedrick Poole for the touchdown. 20 yards, and it's a touchdown for Central.
Well, coming off a great week last week, as you can see, 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, well on his way right here. And Dedrick Poole, what a fantastic athlete. As we take another look at this play, it looked like he was stopped cold going around the right side right here. Parkview certainly had opportunities to get him, but he avoided 1 tackle, 2 tackles. Finds his way around the left side. A perfect play right here, too, because Derek Mason on the block, the quarterback wide receivers, we see right coming up, maybe the block already happened right there, but Derek Mason, a great block, allowing Dedrick Poole to get around to the left side and score the touchdown for Central.
20-yard touchdown run for Dedrick Poole as they get set to kick the extra point. Flags fly. Last week, Central had over 500 yards total offense, but 473 of those yards rushing. A lot of them from Dedrick Poole. They got a very potent rushing attack with Poole leading the way, Josh Sullivan, McGee, and a few others who contributed in the running game.
Well, you're exactly right. They hand the ball off a lot. Last week, as a matter of fact, in their 49-7 win against Mountain Home, Eddie Robinson, Michael Pleasant, Nick McGee, Ramon Fawcett all scored touchdowns, including Poole's 3 touchdowns. So they hand the ball off to a lot of guys and give Poole some breathing space. Matter of fact, Poole rushed for 188 yards last week and did not play most of the second half.
Well, you saw Chris Blake attempt the extra point. He was 6 for 6 last week, but he misses his first one tonight. That's following the touchdown by Dedrick Poole, 20 yards. Poole into the end zone, extra point no good, and Central has a 6-0 lead. The PAT attempt by Blake failed.
The guy, as we just take a look at the replay one more time just a second ago, the guy has a nose for the end zone. He saw the end zone, had a defender to beat to get to that goal line, and he found it for the 6 points.
6-0 Central, 7:02 to play. First period, Comcast football coming to you from historic Quigley Stadium. Site of some college games in years past, some great Central High teams, and Scott, the Central High people who put the program together, do a nice thing and mention a number of the Central High coaches over the last years: Bernie Cox, Joe Fred Young, Jerry White, Gene Hall, Wilson Matthews. The kickoff. Whistles blow as the ball is kicked. This Central High tradition goes back to the early 20th century. This team is one that Little Rock's been proud of for a long time. State championships all the way through, including 10 from Wilson Matthews in the 40s and 50s.
First game played for Central, 1894.
This stadium has
That
now
was a
been
good
around.
game.
Yeah, it was a heck of a game. It was a defensive struggle.
Absolutely.
This stadium was not here then. It just seems like it.
Yes.
Parkview takes over first and 10. This Patriot team has some tradition as well, most of it going back to the mid-'80s. We'll get to that in a few seconds. Right now, Parkview finds itself down. They've got 3 backs in the backfield. Direct snap to the quarterback, James, will throw. He's got a man. The pass is complete to Isaac Ross, and that's the first Parkview completion of this game.
That's a pretty good connection for Parkview. Isaac Ross has caught several touchdown passes this year. A 67-yarder in their first game against Jacksonville. 24-7 loss, but Ross is one of their go-to guys on offense when they throw the football.
And, well, it looked for a second like he caught it. Pass is incomplete. Second down and 10. So Parkview still looking for its first completion. James, your quarterback, pair of backs in the backfield, 6-0 Central lead. Quick handoff to the left halfback with the ball carry. It's Jeff Lamal, and he's got positive yardage for the Patriots.
Parkview needs to just keep plugging away tonight. Just keep plugging away and get some positive yardage. And really, they can't afford any mistakes. That almost goes without saying, but they've got to hold on to the football, get their blocking assignments right, and make sure they get ahead on somebody and try to open up some holes and get some positive yards on each play.
Quarterback James last week 142 yards passing. Third down 5 for the Patriots.
working out of the shotgun, just a quick handoff. Trying to find some room. Lawrence Bryant around the left side, and as you mentioned, it's the first guy miss, which is going to be key for Parkview tonight.
Second down 8. Patriots send Ross out to the right side. James with Bryant in the backfield along with them all. James steps up, wants to run, very little gain, pulled down. The Parkview defense was ready.
Larry Sanders in on the tackle and doing a good job of just making sure that James does not really scramble out of the pocket, making sure he knows what he's going to do right here. And nobody to throw to. James steps it up, and there's Sanders right there just pushing off his blocker and coming up with the tackle.
Parkview faces third down and 8. Parkview won first down in the game. Central High with 2. Central has your 6-0 lead. 4.5 to play in the first period from historic Quigley Stadium. James to pass on third down. Wings it left side. Incomplete. Intended for Ross. Defending on the play, Charles Blake of Central will bring up fourth down for Parkview.
Ball was tipped in the air. James in the shotgun quite a bit tonight, and give him a little bit more time back there to find a couple of receivers. And this ball, Sanders really had an opportunity to pick that one off, could not hold on to it, and this ball falls to the ground, brings a fourth down there. Punt formation.
Sean Jones is your kicker for Parkview. And it looks like Demetrius Baker back deep for Central. Jones' second punt, stronger than the first one. Pushes Baker past the 40-yard line, 35 back to the 40, just short of the 45-yard line, the return by Demetrius Baker.
Well, there's a flag on the play. Could be a block in the back. Yeah, holding against Central on the play. They'll back it up, make them go a few more yards if they're going to score a touchdown on this possession.
So far, field position, Parkview from its own 12, then its own 20, and Central's field position has been the Parkview 42, and then in this situation, with the pushback, its own, Scott, these yard lines are hard to see here.
Yeah, it's about the 34-yard line.
Right. Central holds a 6-0 lead, and they got the ball for the second time in the game. Sullivan with McGee and Poole in the eye in the backfield. Handoff, Dedrick Poole. Nope.
Good looking pass. 85, Rodney Matthews on the reception. Josh Sullivan, a good looking pass. Good tight spiral. Drop back in the pocket. Found a receiver, Rodney Matthews, and hit him. Fake handoff to Dedrick Poole. Sullivan back to pass. Good throw right there. Nice tight spiral over the defender. And Matthews breaking a tackle and picking up some big yardage.
First down, Central High. It was a fake and a pass for the Tigers. Central, its third first down of the game. Poole, handoff. He's got first down yardage. Dedrick Poole is across the 35-yard line and stopped at the 33. A 13-yard gain for Central's Dedrick Poole.
Well, when you got a back like Dedrick Poole in your backfield, Nick McGee at fullback, a lot of teams, a lot of defenses are going to bite on the play action. It's certainly the case on that last play. And then you can come back and hand it off, actually, in a good hole, and a guy that can find the hole and get through it.
First down on the run, eye in the backfield again. Again, the handoff. Poole again makes somebody miss him, but this time Dedrick Poole is snowed under for a little gain on the play.
Well, Parkview's Marcus Twilley in the backfield early and made Dedrick Poole make a decision right there. Went to the inside. Some good defense by Twilley and allowed some of his partners to come in and make the tackle for a loss.
Central on top 6-0. Clock ticking down to 3:10 remaining. First period from Quigley Stadium. Tigers break the huddle on the drive that started back at the Central High 32. Sullivan quarterbacking the Tigers. Fakes the handoff. Poole. Josh Sullivan wants to throw. Wings it long. Downfield. Has a man for the touchdown. Central High touchdown. Pass is complete to Derek Mason for the score.
Well, there you have that connection. They like that connection, and that's one of the reasons that they put Derek Mason out wide instead of underneath the center court. pitch and drops back and finds Derek Mason, who got behind the defenders right here. A nice tight spiral over the middle, just over the defender, hit Derek Mason in stride and holds it with one hand as he goes into the end zone and could not be brought to the ground. So excellent play by Central right there for another 6 points.
Touchdown comes at the 2:52 mark. Central will line up and go for 2. They missed the extra point on their first touchdown. Tigers will try and even that out now. Sullivan with McGee and Poole in the backfield. Sullivan runs the option left side. Pitch, Dedrick Poole turns the corner. 2-point conversion is good, and Central makes this a 14-0 ball game. Sullivan to Mason for the score, and then Dedrick Poole on the 2-point conversion for the Tigers.
Well, we take a look at that touchdown one more time. Josh Sullivan selling the fake and lining up in the backfield, and a great pass. Derek Mason, as we mentioned, got behind the defender and in for the 6 points. 2-point conversion is good as well, and I think Parkview a little bit frustrated defensively. Flag flew at the end of that 2-point conversion.
And Scott, it's homecoming tonight here at Quigley Stadium. Penalty goes against Parkview. We will show you some homecoming festivities later on in the broadcast. And right now the home team has taken a 14-0 lead. A Poole 20-yard touchdown run, and then Sullivan to Mason, 28 yards for the score. Poole's 2-point conversion, and 14-0 Central. And the Tigers will kick off as we have 2:52 left in the first quarter from Quigley Stadium. And they tack some penalty yardage onto the penalty. So Central will kick off actually from the 45-yard line of Parkview.
Yeah, personal foul in the end zone. Parkview got a little bit frustrated and pushed Dedrick Poole around after the play was already dead. So they will tack it off.
As you can hear, we're near the band.
I think I'm in the tuba.
Tigers to kick off with a 14-0 lead. And not surprisingly, the kick is through the end zone. So Parkview takes over its own 20-yard line. Field position so far, Central its own 12. Touchdown, its own 32. Touchdown. Parkview its own 42, a punt. Its own 34, a punt. And now its own 20-yard line.
That was almost one of those situations where it wouldn't hurt to try the onside kick if you're Central. You've got it already kicking off in Parkview's territory. Difference of 25 yards on that one. They kicked it into the end zone. Parkview really needing to establish something offensively if they can, but Central's defense doing a great job of in the secondary. Parkview trying to pass a few times, connected on one of them.
Patriots go from their own 20-yard line. James, the quarterback. James fakes the handoff. Antoine James will keep. Has running room. Has a first down. Nice run by James. Pick up 11 yards for Parkview's sophomore quarterback, Antoine James.
Well, James doing a good job. This was certainly a quarterback run from the very beginning. Fakes the handoff right there. Finds a good hole and gets behind big number 77, Andre Anderson, 6'1", 300 pounds. Does a good job of following his blockers and picks up the first down.
Two Parkview first downs so far to 3 Central first downs, but the scoreboard is all Tigers. 14-0, 2:25 to play. First period from Quigley. Handoff to one of the halfbacks, and a gain on the play.
Jason Donaldson, number 80 on the carry, and a good run considering Central had 8 guys in the box trying to stop that run. It's almost as if they're saying, we dare you to pass it on us, and certainly picking up some big yardage right there. Jason Donaldson, senior, 5'11", 190 pounds for the Patriots.
James runs the play back in. Second down, 3 for Parkview. Donaldson in the backfield along with them all. Now James back in the shotgun. James, Donaldson again. This time left side. This time no going. First player to hit him was Parkview's Arthur Jordan, or rather Central's Arthur Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan doing a great job getting in the backfield and standing him up and bringing them down with the help of some other Tigers swarming on defense. Donaldson trying to go around the left side on that time, and nothing doing for the Patriots.
Loss on the play, 3rd and 5 for Parkview. The time you see is first quarter time. And Parkview with the football. Parkview has picked up 2 first downs so far in the game, but they have not threatened to score. Central has scored on both its possessions. From under center, James with an eye in the backfield. James quick swing pass right side. Has a man, pass is complete. That's Ross. Ross is near first down yardage, and Isaac Ross has the Parkview first down.
Well, that's a good decision, a good call by the Patriots and Coach Ernest McGee. Just a quick out to the flat, hitting Isaac Ross and picking up first down yardage.
Patriots moving the football. They're about to get into Parkview territory for the first time. They got the ball at their own 45-yard line. And James will again go from under center. That last play was a quick toss to the right side. Airbacks in the backfield. Gives the ball to Donaldson again. Donaldson has some room, gain, and then turned back by 3 Central High Tigers. Picked with 3 on the play for Donaldson.
3 tough yards. Donaldson, a pretty big guy, and it takes more than 1 Tiger to bring him down. It's key for the first guy to stand him up right there, but fighting his way for 3 tough yards. A good effort by Donaldson.
And we have seen the last play of the first quarter. So the first period comes to an end at Quigley Stadium. Central High scores 2 touchdowns, and the Central High Tigers have a lead, 14-0. We'll take a break. We'll come back with quarter number 2 of Comcast football from Quigley Stadium.
New seasons bring new reasons to call Wally.
Rick, you're on the air. Yeah, I was at the Hawks game Saturday. Greg, you're on the air.
I've been following you, Lark, for years.
Can he be czar of the BCS, czar of the Southeastern Conference? The man's 69 years old, for crying out loud.
The Wally Hall Show, Sundays at 6, only on Comcast Channel 18.
Some law firms like to talk about all the big cases they handle. The offices of Gary Green, we've handled our share of big cases, but we take just as much pride and care in handling the little cases. Because after all, some of the biggest rewards come from just being able to help someone through a difficult time. If you've been injured due to negligence, call law offices of Gary Green. I guarantee we will listen, and maybe we can help.
Second quarter action from Quigley Stadium, and Parkview going the other way. They're still looking for a surge into Central territory, and they have it. Parkview, which trails 14-0, is trying to make something happen offensively. First down for the Patriots.
Lawrence Bryant on the carry, picking up the first down. Good hard run up the middle for Parkview, doing a great job of moving the football on this possession.
Central, the heavily favored team in this game, 5-1, and Parkview comes in 1-5. Both teams are 5A Central club. Central number 5 in the state. Parkview unranked. Look at Bryant go. He's got a hole and a big gain from Lawrence Bryant. 12 yards and a first down, and a great offensive play for Parkview.
Well, one thing Central has got to know is that these Parkview Patriots, they're not having the best of seasons. However, they are not going to lay down and die. And for a Parkview team that comes in 1-5, they would like nothing more than to knock off the Giant at 5-1 in Central. So they're coming to play tonight, and Central defensively better be ready for it.
34, Bryant does not have much size, 5'9", 165, but he is a hard-nosed running back. That first down is first down number 5 for Parkview. They're out first downing Central. Is that a word? 5-3. And they're on the move right now. Handoff, Bryant. Nope, it's a fake. Pass incomplete, intended for Donaldson. A nicely executed fake. And Donaldson, no, it wasn't Donaldson, it was 88. 88 is Ricky Fields. Pass intended for Fields. He nearly made the play.
Tell you can just say whatever word you want, and it becomes one.
I think it does. Who's that guy in Channel 11 that makes up words?
By the way,
Andy Pearson?
what is the temperature?
Oh, it's 74.
74.
Yeah, we got a wind from the south-southeast at 3. It's a beautiful night for football. A little bit warm for October, but it's 74 degrees right now.
Now we can play because I know what the human thermometer is saying.
Bryant last week playing defense, an interception return for a touchdown. He's an offensive threat as
touchdown.
He caught it. Oh, my.
Touchdown. That's a great play. A good fake. Anton James sold the fake at the beginning and doing a great job on that possession to mix up run, mix up some pass. And you see right here, tucks it to his side, sells the fake, and then comes up firing. Just he used it for all he's worth right here. And the defender had a chance to knock it down.
And then Calvin Moore makes the catch for the touchdown off the fingertips of the defender. And Parkview is on the scoreboard. It's 14-6 right now. Patriots will try and make it a 14-7 game. That's a nicely done touchdown pass by Parkview.
The tip drill worked to perfection.
He did sell the fake very well, though. Good job by Ernest McGee and his team. Now, is that a timeout and a flag fly? I think somebody called timeout. They sure did.
Yeah, Parkview.
I think Parkview was stunned to have scored so quickly. And they have to regroup right here.
And that will do nothing but give them some momentum. As we see it right here, number 1. Demetrius Baker for Central. Had his fingertips on it. You can see it right there. He's not pleased with that. He had an opportunity to prevent that touchdown. But Parkview, they rewarded themselves by scoring that touchdown. A great possession starting in the first quarter, ending up in the second quarter, and they moved the ball well. Some good running, some good passing, and Antoine James sold the fake right there. And Calvin Moore coming through with the tip drill. Good concentration on the football and catches it in the end zone for the touchdown.
It was an 80-yard drive for the score, and Parkview would make it 14-7 with the extra point here. Scott, how big would an upset win be for these Parkview Patriots?
As I mentioned, that would be the upset of the season in Arkansas high school football this year right now. We mentioned Central Arkansas, Hoops Arkansas football has them ranked 5. They have Parkview ranked 30th out of 32 teams in 5A.
Watch out for the swinging gate here. Parkview's got everybody lined up on the right side. They'll now get set to attempt the extra point. They'll go for the kick. TD pass made it 14-6. Extra point makes it 14-7 as Ricky Fields boots it through on the hold by Calvin Moore. And it's 14-7 Parkview.
We take a look at that again. A good concentration by Calvin Moore to come up with the touchdown for Parkview, and certainly that'll give them some momentum, give them some confidence. And when your offense scores a big touchdown, defense usually comes out fired up. So we'll see what Parkview's defense can do right here to answer the bell for the Patriots.
We bring you high school football each and every week during the football season. Scott, what's up next week for this Comcast crew?
Next week we've got Little Rock Catholic at McClellan. We saw Catholic the first game of the season beating North Pulaski, and McClellan, we've had them one time in a loss against J.A. Fair. So we've got these two teams coming up next week, and the following week after that, the 27th, Robinson at J.A. Fair, and then follow it out the last week of the season. A Thursday game on November the 2nd, Sylvan Hills at Mills, and then round it out on November the 3rd, Friday night, Central. These same Tigers will take on the Hall High Warriors, a big rivalry there.
Coach McGee, third year at Parkview. This Parkview team has a great tradition in the 80s with players like Keith Jackson and James Rouse, coached by John Kelly. In fact, I saw Coach Kelly before the football game, asked him what he's doing these days. He said he's been an assistant principal at Central for the last couple of years, and so John Kelly still around and educating youngsters in Little Rock School District. One of the coaches that makes this Parkview tradition of the 80s one to look back on very fondly. It's a long way to go for Parkview. Now Central will try and return the kickoff, and some running room, and then turn back, and the ball comes out to around the 35-yard line.
Eddie Robinson on the return for Central, and Parkview, good field position for Central to start out with right here, and to look for them to pound it down on the ground. But Sullivan, on their last possession, doing a good job throwing the football a couple of times. Nice tight spirals, finding receivers, and in on the tackle for Parkview, Kyron Bryant, number 11.
Central begins play from its own 35-yard line. 10:47, second quarter. Tigers with a 14-7 lead. Eye in the backfield for Sullivan. Handoff, Poole. Dedrick's got a first down and more. He might go. Beats a man. Who can catch Dedrick Poole? Racing toward the end zone. Pushed out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line. What a run for Dedrick Poole. All the way from the 35 to the 10. So what is that? 65-yard run for Dedrick Poole. First down and in scoring position now for Central.
Well, you can just see the kind of athlete that Dedrick Poole is right here. starts to speed using his 4.5 speed, makes a cut to the outside, reads his blockers, and a great move right there. Selling the inside, popping out to the outside, then it became a foot race. Parkview had the angle on him and brought him down just outside of the 10-yard line.
Dedrick Poole, a junior sensation from Central. Ball marked at the 14-yard line. Poole running room to the 10 and stop there, gain of 4 for Poole.
Well, we mentioned on the outset the comparisons with Cedric Hobbs, whom you're all familiar with, in the sophomore season. Let's do a little bit of comparison. Cobb's a little bit bigger, 30 pounds more in his sophomore year at J.A. Fair. Dedrick Poole runs a 4.5. Cedric Hobbs ran a 4.3 at that time, and Cedric Hobbs about 3 inches taller. But remember, as I mentioned, Dedrick Poole set a sophomore record in the state of Arkansas, rushing yards, 2,211.
McGee and Poole, handoff. Poole dropped the ball. Parkview recovers, and Parkview's going to move with the football. Dedrick Poole dropped the ball. Patriots got the recovery, and I believe picking it up with Marcus Twilley, number 90, a 6'1", 190-pound junior.
Well, we mentioned they let up the big play right there, but Parkview's defense getting a spark right here. Dedrick Poole, the handoff was not clean right there, and Poole could not grab hold of it and hit the turf. Parkview comes up with it. Twilley, good awareness to pick it up and run with the football, and a huge break for Parkview.
First turnover of the game, and Parkview in motion now, in action, trailing 14-7. 9.5 to play, second period. Dedrick Poole fumble. He has had some fumble games this year. Keeper James, and James thrown for a loss. And there to start the Avalanche was John Embry of Central.
Well, let's see if Parkview can get that offense going like they did on the last possession. The fake handoff right here. Number 32, Jeff Omal, and James trying to keep it, but Central read that perfectly and dropped it for a loss.
Loss on the play. Just a loss of 1, so second and 11 for Parkview. Patriots send Calvin Moore out wide right. Again, shotgun, backfield. James to throw, little flip pass, left side pass complete, but not for much yardage. And complete to Nick Kroom, number 40, a 5'9", 195-pound junior.
Well, Stephen Agnew for Central not fooled on that play at all. Saw it coming all the way. Again, the fake handoff and just trying to dump it out to pick up some yards around the outside, but Agnew snuffed it out and came up with a big tackle.
It was a completion, but no gain. Third down and 11 for the Parkview Patriots. And they send Moore out wide to the left side. James in the backfield on third down. James to throw, flings it, and the pass incomplete. It was intended for Calvin Moore, and will bring up fourth down for Parkview.
Well, Central doing a good job of holding Parkview on that possession. Now they'll have some great field position again and get right back on offense where they came up with that little blip in the screen in terms of offensive push. I tell you what, Taylor, they had a huge offensive output last week.
Yeah, over 500 yards, 473 on the ground. So Central getting it done last week. And on this possession, Parkview can't move it, and the Patriots forced a punt. Ball received at the 41-yard line. Return of about 11 yards. And on the return for Central, 16, Michael Pleasant.
What Pleasant had a lane down the left side. We'll see it right here again. And number 1, Demetrius Baker. They got tangled up with their feet. Tackle by Demetrius Baker.
Central begins with good field position. The Parkview 48-yard line. Seen a lot of Dedrick Poole tonight. A touchdown, an extra point, a long 60-yard run, and a fumble from Poole. He has a 3-fumble game this year. And he's prone to drop the ball once in a while. Sullivan wants to pass. And the pass incomplete, way in front of his intended receiver. And over there is Keith Williams, incomplete.
Well, you talk about Dedrick Poole can fumble the ball a little bit. As you mentioned, he did have a 3-fumble game. That was against El Dorado, their third game of the season. Their only loss of the season, as a matter of fact. And they had 9 fumbles on the game. Central did. They lost 4 of them. So they can turn the ball over, and that's something that they're going to have to guard against, not only in this football game, but as the season
said that 3 fumbles really hurt Central's chances. They won the game anyway against Scooter Register's Wildcats. Poole turns the corner, has some room, gain of 5, and pulled down. Dedrick Poole gets the ball out to the 45-yard line.
Lawrence Bryant on the tackle, and pretty good tackle as Dedrick Poole can pop it outside with the best of them and pick up some extra yardage. As he tries to do right here, you take a look at it, but Bryant, good pursuit, and wraps him up, breaks him down. That's one thing you got to do as a defense against Central and Dedrick Poole. You've got to make sure you bring him down because a little foot tackle is not going to do the trick against Dedrick Poole. He'll break the tackle, pop to the outside, and where you think you might have him, sometimes it's just all air.
3rd and 6, the nose of the football, Parkview 45, pitch, reverse, some running room, almost knocked away, and now first down yardage, and more than a first down. On the carry for Central High, Devin Morris on the reverse, and Central's got a first down.
Well, and a flag on the play to boot, but Devin Morris doing a good job. Parkview had some defenders in the backfield, and at the perfect time, he cut it upfield, avoided the tacklers, and picked up the first down. We see it right here. Poole handing it off to Morris, and Morris stringing it out. So you see a couple Parkview Patriots right there. Slipped the tackle, headed upfield, and now they will tack on some more yards, I believe, is the penalty right there, but picked up the first down, and
So far, Parkview penalized 3 times for 25 yards. A Central High first down at the Parkview 32 on the reverse. This time, Poole, straight handoff. Dedrick has some running room. Gained about 5 yards for the junior, Dedrick Poole.
well, you can see a couple different styles of running by Poole. He can pop it out to the outside, has some great moves, but when he needs to, can churn it up the middle and scratch out some tough yards, following his blockers up the middle. You can see right here, and picking up some tough yardage. And you can see the leg drive on Dedrick Poole. He will not go down easily. Kid's strong. As I mentioned, he can bench press 250 pounds. He's got a 31-inch vertical leap, so he's got some good strong legs as well.
13 is your quarterback, Josh Sullivan. Central has it. 2nd down and about 4 for the Tigers, marching toward the Patriot end zone. First down, Dedrick Poole and more. Dedrick toward the end zone, pulled down at the 5, and a touchdown-saving tackle by 34, Lawrence Bryant.
Poole just, he sees the field so well. It's kind of like a chess player. He's got a couple of moves already in mind, one move after the other. You can see right here, fakes to the outside, pops it up to the inside, and Bryant in on the tackle one more time, as you mentioned, saving that touchdown. Still doesn't want to go down.
Now Central has it, 1st and goal from the 5. Tigers leading the game 14-7, 5:41 to play, 2nd period from Quigley. Josh Sullivan, quarterback. Poole toward the end zone. Dedrick Poole is in for the touchdown, his 2nd of the game. Central goes on top 20-7.
Well, pretty much a Dedrick Poole drive for Central that time, and why not give the guy the football and reward him for his efforts out on the field. Let him score the touchdown, his 2nd score of this football game for Central, and again, go back on top by at least 13 right now.
Poole had a 20-yard run for the first score of the game and then scored the 2-point conversion that made it 14-0. Parkview came back and made it 14-7, and now Central trying to make it 21-7 as they'll try and kick the extra point. Last week, Chris Burks was 6 of 6. Tonight so far, he's 0 for 1. Burks lines up, and Burks punches it through, and Central goes on top 21-7 on the Burks extra point.
Well, again, when Dedrick Poole needs to just lower his head and lower the boom and pick up some tough yards, he can do that as he drives up the middle, follows his blockers again. And smart running back, Dedrick Poole, very talented but very smart, knows what to do. He knows his big guys up the middle will blow some holes on some short yardage plays.
Central's drive, 48 yards. The drive started at the Parkview 48. 5.5 to play in the 2nd period from Quigley Stadium, where Central High School leads Parkview 21-7. The Tigers, the home team, came in 5-1, 1-0 in the 5 AAA or the 5A Central, and Parkview 1-5 and tied for last in this league. Scott, Parkview was the last 5A team to get a win this season. They were winless until last week and improved their record to 1-5. There are 5 5A teams with a 1-5 record, as a matter of fact.
Well, Parkview did dodge a bullet last week. They beat Catholic 20-19, and Catholic missed a field goal, short field goal with seconds to play. allowed Parkview to get their first win of the season.
Flags fly. And on the return for Parkview, it was Kimbrough, it looks like, and penalty flags hit the ground after the return. And holding against the Patriots.
Well, Parkview is 1 point shy of their season average for points offensively in a game. They're averaging just 8 points a game. And last week was the first week that they've scored in double figures on the season. First week of the season, they scored a touchdown. The second week against Camden Fairview, they were shut out. Then they scored 7 against in the loss to Arkadelphia, 6 again in the loss to Hall High School, and then got beat by Conway 30-6. So last week, their biggest offensive output of the season.
Parkview's been heavily penalized in this game 4 times, 30 yards. Pushes the Patriots back. They'll go 1st and 10 from their own 20 to start the possession. One man in the backfield. James, the quarterback, wants to throw. Passes, has a man. Short of the first down, but Parkview has the completion, and the yardage gain they marked is about a 6-yard gain. The pass was complete to Isaac Ross.
Well, Ross ended up behind the original line of scrimmage, but actually it was about a 6-yard gain on the play. The momentum was stopped, and James back to pass, just flinging the football, finding Ross, and now they've got a
Unsportsmanlike conduct. As longtime official Harold Valentine once told me, when you see the official wave his arms like that, they call it unsporty conduct. He says, you keep mouthing off, I'll keep flying. Just back him up, back him up. So that's unsporty conduct, and that goes against Parkview.
unsporty conduct.
Parkview, if that penalty stands, will have been penalized 5 times for 45 yards.
Well,
You don't want to be unsporty, Scott.
absolutely. Ross felt like the whistle was blowing, and they drove to the ground, even though the whistle was blowing, so he upset about that a little bit. We talked about Parkview's offense, their average on a weekly basis, 8 points weekly average, and Little Rock Central not allowing much more than that. They only allow 10 points a game. Central's defense does average that, so their defense is pretty tough. They talk about their offense a lot, and David Poole and the running backs they've got, and Josh Sullivan doing a great job tonight, but their defense deserves a lot of credit for their success so far this season, playing some pretty tough football teams and holding them 10 points on the average.
Central High's assistant coaches, some of these Central coaches have been here not nearly as long as Bernie Cox. Norman Calloway's been around forever. Daryl Seward's fairly new to this squad. Also Ken Davis, Larry Siegel, Stan Williams, Frank Troutman, David Smith, and the trainer is Brian Cox. Central has got a passel of coaches do a great job with this Tiger program.
Boy, they've just recently got a few extra coaches. For the longest time, it was Bernie Cox, Norman Calloway, and Larry Siegel taking care of every aspect of the Central football team, but they've got some assistants, and those new assistants doing great jobs.
2nd down, 16 for Parkview. James, handoff, and very little gain on the play, maybe 2 yards for the Patriots.
Parkview, of course, coached by Ernie McGee, assistant head coach Danny Black, their assistants Bernard Adams, Ron Briggs, Al Flanagan, William Hardiman, Terry McClung, and Cornelius Roberts, doing a good job with those Patriots and trying to get their 2nd win of the season tonight.
Parkview's a magnet school, and there are reasons why it makes it kind of a tough place to field a football team. It's hard to get the numbers in there like they used to, and so Parkview has a bit of an uphill struggle in that regard, but with the numbers, they've done a good job. Pass over the middle, had a man, and incomplete, and it's intended for Ross, but over his hands.
Parkview's kind of like a Duke University football team, not as great, but their basketball's got some great tradition, and certainly Parkview's supported some excellent basketball teams over the years. James letting it fly tonight quite a bit, and that's what they're going to need to do, let that fly a little bit too high, though.
Wonder if Charles Ripley, I wonder if Rip's in the house tonight, longtime Parkview basketball coach. Coach Derek Fisher, back when Fish played at Parkview High. Derek honored this week. Now the Patriots have to punt. So they got a hand on the football. Ball sails right around midfield where it's fielded there. And some running room, and paid off that time. A return of 7 yards. Central will start out in Parkview territory following Demetrius Baker's return.
See it again right here. We talked about Parkview, Derek Fisher. What a basketball team that was his senior year. They had 5 guys all signed Division I Division I scholarships. And the irony of the whole deal is Derek Fisher was the last one to sign and kind of an afterthought. Went to ULR, made a great career. Now he's wearing a championship ring as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers.
We got to see him play basketball at ULR for 4 years. Pitch left side, some running room. Dedrick Poole. Dedrick has a nice gain, pushed out of bounds. Junior Dedrick Poole.
Wonder if he's getting any recruiting letters, you think?
He's being heavily recruited. Inside handoff fake, and then the pitch to Dedrick Poole.
Good block up front. Derek Mason doing a great job at the wide receiver spot. Plays a lot of quarterback, but doing a good job. Duty's caught the touchdown pass and threw a key block to allow Dedrick Poole to score earlier.
Keith Williams goes right. Derek Mason is wide left. Josh Sullivan, the quarterback. Sullivan wants to throw. Lots of time over the middle. Has a man. Touchdown. A 29-yard touchdown pass. Central is on the board once again.
Keith Williams, and I tell you what, I'm impressed with Josh Sullivan, his arm tonight. He finds his receivers, hits them in stride, and so far tonight, 2 touchdown passes. We'll take a look at it right here. Good drop back, good looking drop back. 7-step drop, finds the receiver, passes the ball, and lets it fly. Good tight spiral, hits the receiver right there. Keith Williams into the end zone, his second touchdown pass. Sullivan on the night. Keith Williams' first touchdown reception.
He has one to Derek Mason, one to Keith Williams. His first one was 28 yards. That one was 29. Central now leads at 27-7. They'll try and make it 28-7. Kick is on its way, and it's no good. So after the kicker, Chris Burks went 6 for 6 last week. So far this week, he is 1 for 2.
Well, in fairness to Burks, as we take a look at this again right here, good pass, steps up in the pocket, doesn't throw off his back foot, pushes off his back foot, and hits his receiver in stride. But it was a bobbled snap. Sullivan couldn't grab that snap, so he had to just kick it with a 1-step.
The score comes at 3:24. Second period puts Central on top, 27-7. Central High Tigers will, after this game, go on and play at North Little Rock, play McClellan, the play at Hall, and end the season. They're coming on a 49-7 win last week. Tigers are used to kicking off a lot this season. Kickoff once again. There comes Parkview, snowed under and short of the 20-yard line for the Patriots.
So this is turning out to be one of those games, and like we had talked about at the top, where there's going to be a lot of Central Tigers getting some playing time tonight, which is good. They need as much experience as they can get, some of these younger guys, as they work towards the playoffs. You never know when somebody's going to go down, and one of the younger players are going to have to fill the gaps and not have any drop-off from the starter.
Parkview has a ways to go. They take over first and 10 from the 17. And James goes under center. James handoff to his tailback, Bryant. No gain for Lawrence Bryant.
Jeffrey Moore in on the stop for Central. Junior, 5'9", 195-pound linebacker. Got into the backfield in a hurry, brought him down.
Arthur Jordan and John Embry also there to help out. Central is on top 27-7 on 2 Dedrick Poole touchdown runs and 2 Josh Sullivan touchdown passes.
Take a look at the Parkview band and cheerleader squad, and now Central's cheerleading squad. They've got a lot more to cheer about tonight than the Patriots.
On a second down and about 9, Central goes, or rather Parkview goes with a quarterback sneak and rounds up a few yards. James on the keeper.
Central calling timeout, trying to get that ball back. Some good field position, some time on the clock to maybe punch it in one more time.
Game started with a Central touchdown. Dedrick Poole, 7:02 mark in the first period. And then the PAT was no no good. Central 6-0. Tigers went on to lead 14-0 on the Sullivan to Mason 28-yard touchdown pass. Poole 2-point conversion, 14-0. Then Parkview scored. Touchdown pass from James to Calvin Moore. They made it 14-7, and the last two touchdowns have been from the Tigers. The Dedrick Poole 5-yard run followed by Sullivan's TD pass to Keith Williams for a 27-7 score where it stands now. Wave Scott, we're on TV.
We talked about the history of Central and what a history it is. They've won over 700 ball games in their history of success, certainly so.
Should we stand up? Okay. Yeah, this team is, talk about the days of Wilson Matthews, and you mentioned, of course, Earl Quigley, the man for whom the stadium is named, who was coached back in the 1916 and 1917 season, went 10-7-2.
He had two stints. Came back to coach in 1919 through 1935. Saw a lot of plays like that right there by his defense, I'm sure. Number 45 for Central, Charles Blake.
And that's where Quigley created his legend, 125 wins, 45 losses, 7 ties. I was looking at Bernie Cox's record, Scott. He's got, what, 200 and some wins, a couple of losses, and 8 ties. He has almost a whole season of ties. 8 games, you know?
Exactly.
Man, he's coached a lot of ball games. Parkview has to punt now, 152, and Central wants to get it back and make this score, they hope, 34-7 at halftime. On the low kick, takes a bounce. Right to the hands of Demetrius Baker. He's going to create something. He's got a wall around the left side. Might have some room. Gain of 12, 15, 17 yards for Baker. A nice run, making something out of nothing for Central High's Demetrius Baker.
Well, Baker was originally going to let that ball go and let the other guy pick it up, but it bounced right up, as you see right here. He said, okay, I'll take it. And immediately ran about 8 yards backwards and found a hole around the left side. And his speed, this is the thing about Central Tigers. They've got a lot of speed on this football team. Good block right there. Number 45, Charles Blake, and a flag on the play. So maybe it was too good of a block.
Maybe a clip in there. So Central penalized, and so far the Tigers, 1 penalty, 15 yards in this game. For Parkview, 5 for 45 yards.
Well, certainly doable for Central. A minute 27 to go in this half, and about half the field to cover before they can score again.
Tigers start from the 50. Sullivan pass right side, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, and that is Williams.
Well, the pass was excellent. Sullivan put it right in there. Williams stopped running for just a little bit. Way to throw the defenders off. Looks to his left a little bit, and can't tell right there, but Williams stopped just about a step and then picked it back up again, but too late to come up with that reception.
Tigers send a pair of players out wide to the right. And the eye in the backfield, Sullivan. The throw, Poole is in the block. Sullivan's pass incomplete. Pass intended for Devin Morris.
Morris finding a soft spot in the defense and turns around. Had a guy going deep as well, and Devin Morris cut off his route. Could not hold on to the football as Sullivan tries to slice between two Parkview defenders.
Sullivan has thrown back-to-back catchable walls. Brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Tigers. 1:16 second quarter. Central with the big lead, trying to make it more. Sullivan pass right side and dropped again. 3 passes that could have been caught. Dropped. Keith Williams that time.
Well, Williams, that one was a little bit low, but still obviously a catchable football. This is one of the tougher passes as you line it up and throw it all the way out to the flat out there, and could not come home with it.
And Central has to punt with 1:09 to play. Second quarter. Placement kicker, also their punter, Chris Burks, drops back. He'll boot the ball for about his own 40-yard line. Takes a bounce Central's way and is down just short of the 20-yard line. So Parkview, with a bit under a minute to go, will have the football, trailing 27-7.
Here's a trivia question that I don't know the answer to. We're talking about the history. We're just going to touch on that one more time briefly. It lists all the state championships that Central has had. They've had 30 state championships over the years. Phenomenal. But they list them as having 2 national championships. I'm not sure how you win a national championship in high school football. But
Those were in the days they just had a de facto national champion because you were so good, had great tradition. Central certainly has it. Parkview, less than a minute to play, second quarter. Sends 2 wideouts left side. Handoff, Bryant. Bryant has a gain, but not first down yardage. The clock ticks down to 45 seconds.
well, a flag comes in late, and I believe that's going to be a face mask. It's certainly a face mask against Central. The head snapped back as he was trying to go through the middle, as you can see right there. But I'm not sure if you grab the face mask right there. It's like he maybe grabbed up around the neck and just turned his head, but hard to tell on that one replay. Certainly the referee saw the head snap back, and
Central second penalty, 25 yards, 29-7 Tiger, 27-7 Tigers. The clock is moving, coming down to the 40-second mark. James has 2 backs in the backfield, now makes an adjustment and might be altering a play. Makes the handoff. James wants to throw, heaves it downfield over the head of his intended receiver, pass incomplete. He's looking for Ross down there.
little play action pass, trying to create some offense as the time runs out in this first half. And had the opportunity to catch it, Ross did, but did not come up with a grab. Pretty tough throw.
And Parkview will face third down and 13. 27 seconds. See if Central makes a concerted effort to get the football back. Parkview might stop the clock with the incompletion. Passes incomplete. Penalty flags fly, intended for Ross. I see a flag down, Scott?
Yeah, there is a flag. There is a flag about where the ball was thrown, and possibly a pass interference against Central. See it right here, just trying to make something happen. But as you mentioned, with the time running down, if you don't complete this pass right here, I'm not sure where the pass interference would come in right there. Both guys really trying to go for the football, and they call it against maybe pass interference against Parkview. I didn't see either one as an interference on either guy.
Parkview is racking up the first half penalties against the Patriots 6 times for 60 yards. And, boy, I don't know.
Because where the flag was thrown, it was right where the ball was thrown. I didn't see it on either one. Now with 18 seconds to go, this punt, Central has an excellent opportunity to put a couple of balls in the end zone and see if they can come up with a touchdown to end this half.
Parkview faces a 4th and 20. And I think Bernie Cox's Central called timeout. He wants to see if he can get this football back and then make a plan for what happens if they do.
Well, I certainly understand Parkview's desire to get the ball down the field and possibly come up with a big play before the half. However, on the other side, if they don't come up with the big plays, this is what is happening now, giving Central another opportunity. Maybe the wise thing to do would be just to take a knee and let this first half run out.
Fourth down, and officially 4th down and 18 with 18 seconds left. 4 Central High touchdowns, 1 for the Parkview Patriots. We have a 27-7 first half score. Homecoming at Central. We'll show you some homecoming highlight later on in the game.
Demetrius Baker, the lone returner, deep about at the 50-yard line, at the 45. Call it the
Central's going to try and block the kick. Almost Williams did. Low line drive kick. Baker fields it at the 48. Bounced off his knee, and he has to scramble to recover. Clock ticks down to 12 seconds. So Parkview averts disaster, gets the punt away, and Central will have maybe 2 plays to try and move it that long if they choose to do so.
Well, you really can't ever predict the bounce of the football right here. And if he could have picked it up on that previous hop, he'd have had some momentum carrying him forward, and who knows what would have happened right there. But he had to wait, short hop, and just eventually just fall on it.
Central's had great field position in the last 3 times. Parkview's 48 and the 50-yard line, and Parkview's 47. Now 12 seconds. Sullivan walks the throw near the end of the second quarter, being chased from behind. Tosses it out right side. Pass is dropped by his man heading out of bounds, intended for Keith Williams.
Well, that would have been a tough catch, but Keith Williams is having his problems catching the football in the last couple of possessions. Sullivan rolling out to right. I tell you what, 90 was in hot pursuit. Marcus Twilley, you can see right here, got his hands on it. Williams did, but could not hold on to it.
Scott, I count that as 4 balls that Sullivan has thrown, and his receivers had a chance to catch and didn't, as we get set for homecoming 2000 for Central High.
Well, that's 4 in a row, too. I mean, their last possession, they had 3 in a row that were dropped. And then this first play in this this possession, current possession right here. So, having troubles holding on to the football.
5 seconds to play. One final play for Central in the first half. Sullivan drops way back. Flips it out left side. Dedrick Poog, and he makes something work. Down the sideline, knocked out of bounds, takes an official out, and that will end the first half of play. Tigers do not get the score, but they got the ball to Dedrick Poole for some receiving yards for Dedrick. He was part of the story in the first half. 2 Dedrick Poole touchdowns and 2 Josh Sullivan touchdown passes, and 1 Parkview Patriot touchdown. We go to halftime, 27-7. Central has your lead. Stand by for more football on Comcast Cable, coming to you tonight from Quigley Stadium in Little Rock.
Hi, I'm David Martinez of Martinez Auto Rug Company. We have rugs from every rug weaving country in the world. The selection includes the finest wools, dyes, herbal wash, tea wash, and antique rugs. Since 1923, we've taken special pride in decorating your floors. Because we understand the importance of choosing the right rug for an area or a room, the colors and patterns we stock are the finest that are available. Come in and browse, touch and feel these works of art. Above all, they're affordable.
Your home is a reflection of you, of your world, and your place in it. So if you want to put digital TV entertainment in your home, why put this stuff on top of it? Comcast Digital Cable gives you all this on your TV without a satellite dish on your roof. So your beautiful home is still your beautiful home. Comcast Digital Cable.
This game, a lot like we expected. Pretty much all Central High School, 27-7. Dedrick Poole doing a lot for Central. Then 2 TD passes from Josh Sullivan. And Scott, not too much of a surprise so far in the football games.
No, the reason that Central didn't score on every possession was they turned the football over that one time. So they stopped themselves. And Parkview certainly, they got a lot of guns, Central does. Parkview can't really answer all the guns that they have. And their main gun, obviously, Dedrick Poole. But a lot of credit goes to Josh Sullivan in the offensive line. Sullivan really throwing the ball well tonight, and except for the last couple of drives where his receivers were dropping the football, he's been very successful. 2 touchdown passes on the night. So the only time Parkview was successful on that touchdown drive that they had, they mixed up some run, mixed up some pass, and kept Central off guard a little bit. But don't look for Parkview to score many more times tonight unless it's late in the fourth quarter.
It is homecoming 2000 at Central High School, and this football game actually has implications in the playoffs for Central because they know if they win out this season, Central would hold the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And in fact, if they won all the way to the state finals, they would be the home team at War Memorial Stadium. So they're playing for a lot. Now, if things hold up, Central would face the number 4 team from the East in the first round of the playoffs, probably Jonesboro, maybe West Memphis. Then they would take on a very tough club, Scott, one of those teams from the West, either Springdale, Northside, or Southside. That is if things hold up now, but that would be a very tough game for Central playing one of those West teams.
Well, they've had a history of struggling or having very tough ball games with the teams in the West. So certainly would like to get those guys on their home football field, though.
Central's been in the playoffs 8 times in the 90s, and then last 5 straight years. left in the first round, then lost to Fayetteville 31-27, and back in '98 lost in the first round to Sylvan Hills. Their last state title was '86. Had Derek Russell on that team. One of the Switzer boys, I think it was Greg. They beat Northside 24-7 in '86, and so this year Bernie Cox might have the combination he needs. The passing of Josh Sullivan, the outstanding running of Dedrick Poole, and Scott, if this is a team that can complete some passes and mix in Sullivan's running and then McGee up the middle to keep him honest, this might be a team that would advance in the playoffs.
Well, there's no question about that. I think one of the things that hurt them last year was they went through the season a lot without any losses. Lost the very last game of the regular season to J.A. Fair, which also in turn lost their conference championship for them. And so it kind of gave them certainly a downer going into the playoffs. And as you mentioned, lost their second game of the playoffs. But this year they've already lost a game. So you don't want to lose a football game, but if you're going to lose one, it's good to experience that and know what that feels like, and then come back and capitalize on that, and then work your way towards the end of the season and into the playoffs.
Homecoming ceremonies and a Central High football game. Perfect Friday night in October for it. The football game is going Central High's way. 27-7 is your halftime score as homecoming continues. We've got second half action coming back. Central High 27, Parkview 7. Stand by for more football here on Comcast Cable.
Everything we do, on and off the court, we have to have the mindset we expect to win. It's got to be all-out pressure. We're full speed ahead, so come be a part of it.
For season tickets, call 565-UALR.
Blue and you, together for a state of better health.
The howling you hear on a Friday the 13th, the Central High Tigers leading Parkview 27-7. Taylor Carr and Scott Philbrick back beside the field, and Scott all Central in the first half of this game.
Yeah, it's Friday the 13th and a full moon, but no strange things are happening on the football field. Pretty much what we expected tonight, Taylor. 27-7 after the first half. Dedrick Poole doing a great job on the ground, and Josh Sullivan doing a great job throwing the football as well. So, and as we mentioned, it's homecoming here at Central tonight for the 2000 football season. And a couple of girls honored tonight, and that is the queen for the Central Tigers, Kristen Kitterman. Crowned queen tonight, homecoming at Central High for 2000, so congratulations to Kristen Kitterman.
You can see that smile all the way up here. I think she was pretty excited about that.
Absolutely.
Central High excited about the prospects of this season. They come into this game 5-1 and a chance to roll on into the playoffs, and one of the teams that's really highly considered in the state. They're ranked number 5 statewide and have a chance to advance in the playoffs once they get there and perhaps roll on to the state final, the place they have not been in a long time, as the Central trying to reestablish that great tradition back from the early days in the 70s and the 80s when Central had a state championship team in 86. Parkview struggling a bit this season, got his first win last week. Patriots come in 1-5 and 1-2, and the Tigers leading this game 5-1 and 3-0 and leading on the scoreboard 27-7. Parkview to kick off to Central as we begin second half action from Quigley Stadium.
Well, on offense, in this second half, what to expect? More of the same, really. You might see some Derek Mason at quarterback, but Josh Sullivan doing a great job. And certainly don't look for Dedrick Poole to carry too far deep into this second half. Would certainly hate for Central, certainly would hate for Dedrick Poole to get an injury. And they've got a lot of guys to go to. And one of those guys is returning this football on this kickoff, number 28, Devin Morris, a wide receiver, ran a reverse earlier in the first half, but they got a lot of guys who can run the football. Eddie Robinson, Michael Pleasant, Nick McGee, Raymond Fawcett, and so they've got some guys that they'll go to, and certainly Dedrick Poole is one of those guys, and he will start this second half.
Poole had 2 first-half touchdowns. Sullivan threw for 2 touchdowns. Central takes over 1st and 10 from its own 35-yard line. Sullivan the quarterback. The tailback is Dedrick Poole. Handoff, Poole. 5-yard gain just like that for the junior, Poole.
Well, give some credit to the offensive line as well, as many times Poole has just followed his blockers on the offensive line, and they've blown back Parkview on several occasions, and this time finds a hole, hits it. Number 90 in on the stop, Marcus Twilley for Parkview, doing a good job of keeping his block in front of him and then turning him away and coming up with the tackle.
Second down, 5 for the Tigers. Sullivan has his backs in an I formation. The handoff is Poole again, and this time very little gain for Dedrick Poole. Helping begin the charge for Parkview was Ivan Rollins, a 5'10", 215-pound senior.
A look at the replay. Good stop by Parkview, number 67.
They said pronounce it Ivan Rollins.
5'10", 215, compact guy, getting the job done.
Poole maybe gained a yard on the play, 3rd and 4 for the Tigers. And Dedrick Poole for the 3rd straight time with the carry. This time he's got good running room. 1st down and much more for Dedrick Poole. He may skate all the way. Pushed out of bounds at the goal line, or does he stumble in? No, they mark him out of bounds at the 11. Oh, what a run for Dedrick Poole. From the 43 to the 11.
You can just see the speed that Dedrick Poole has right there. Takes the handoff and pops it up the middle, and look at him avoid the tacklers and come up with a little stiff arm. We'll see that right here, and finds his way to the outside and tries to tightrope the sidelines, but could not do it. Number 11 for Parkview, Kyron Bryant, just getting enough to push him out of bounds and having him step on the out-of-bounds line.
46 yards for Dedrick Poole, and Central High has it 1st and 10 from the 11. Sullivan with McGee and Poole in the backfield. No, it's not Poole at the tailback, but McGee has the football, and McGee into the end zone. Touchdown, Nick McGee. 11-yard scamper for McGee. It's his first TD of the game, and Central goes on top 33-7.
Dedrick Poole taking a breather on that play in tailback Michael Pleasant, as we mentioned, and the handoff to the first guy through Nick McGee. And here's a guy who can play some fullback and obviously does right here. Also plays some tailback on occasion, finds his way up the middle, and bowls his way over the end zone to score the touchdown, his first of the game.
Drive came quickly, 4 minutes and 44 seconds for the touchdown for Central. 11-yard run by McGee. And the Tigers will look to make this a 34-7 game. Now they're going to go for 2 points. Want to make it 35-7, and somebody moved, and it looked like 71, Andre Lucky.
Yeah, he certainly did. Didn't quite catch the snap count and moved a little bit early, so they'll back this up. This two-point conversion will come from a little bit further back, about the 8-yard line.
They're going to get to the hard way. 10-16, third quarter. Central on its first possession. 65 yards for the touchdown, and one of the key plays, a 46-yard run by Poole, 11-yard run for the touchdown. Sullivan into the end zone for the two-point conversion, had a man in the back, and it's caught.
Right.
And it's Derek Mason for the touchdown, or rather for the catch for the two-point conversion, a 35-7 Central lead. And Mason was all cool there, stopped and caught it, and then handed the ball back to the official.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty good pass, Taylor, but great awareness by Derek Mason to realize where he was in the end zone. Pretty close to the end line, as this is a replay of the touchdown once again, but Mason knew exactly where he was, stopped, caught the football, and just another day at the office.
We'll put a note by that one. Two-point conversion from 8 yards out. Sullivan to Mason for a 35-0 lead. Mason's dad, Darrell, played college football for the Hogs in the 70s. A lot of great players from the 70s. Houston Nutt, Robert Farrell, Emmanuel Tolbert. And noted to us that Bernie Cox's first team featured all three of those players back in the mid-70s. Not a bad way to start. And Parkview taking the kickoff, and decent return out just short of the 30-yard line.
Well, and on comes the Central defense, and their offense, a lot has been said about their offense, but their defense is doing a great job this year as well. They've played some pretty solid teams. Took on a West Memphis team that has a very excellent running back themselves, and Darius Howard of West Memphis. Matter of fact, in that first game of the season, Central won 35-21. Howard rushed for 310 yards. Nevertheless, Central won the football game. They played Sylvan Hills, El Dorado, beat Conway 18-10. That same Conway team that was in a shootout against Cabot the first game of the season, 35-34 up in Conway. So they played some pretty solid teams and held them to low scores. So defense getting it done for Central just as much as the offense.
Hand off to Bryant, and Bryant very little gain for the Parkview Patriots. Central's point totals this year, their highest has been 49 was that Mountain Home last week, and previously they've reached 35 twice this season. Gain of 2 on the play, maybe 1.5. Second down and about 9 from the Quigley Stadium and homecoming 19, or rather the year 2000. The drive started at zone 34. Looks left, throws right, pass complete. Very nicely executed, and the completion goes to Calvin Moore.
Calvin Moore, one of their go-to guys, caught a touchdown pass last week. Anton James, TD pass to Calvin Moore, 16-yard TD reception a week ago. And also involved in the fake punt that scored a touchdown for Parkview last week on the receiving end of a 36-yard Vernon Kennebrew fake punt for a pass and a touchdown.
Yeah, Coach Ernest McGee used 2 quarterbacks last week, and Kennebrew was one of them, but he sprained his ankle and is not going to play tonight, so it's going to be this guy all the way. Antoine James passes left side. Might be a flag there, pass incomplete. And I thought I saw some bumping, but nothing called.
Pretty bang-bang play right there. Dimitri Baker had pretty good position as the cornerback right there. Got his hand in there and knocked that pass down.
Play brings up 4th down for Parkview. Patriots will punt and back in punt formation to make the kick. For Parkview is 24. Central sends 2 men back deep. And it's a fake punt and an incomplete pass.
Well, he was certainly out there alone and had a strong possibility of picking up that first down right there, but could not hold on to the football. And that's the first thing you got to do, obviously, to make that successful. But you got to give them effort for trying. They're down 35-7 and trying to do something to spark this offense and this Parkview team and make something happen. Number 2, Blaine Siegel Coach of the son of Coach Larry Siegel out there on the sideline.
And Central has outstanding field position. The Parkview 36 to start the drive. 9:07 to play, third period. Poole, not much running room for the junior, Dedrick Poole, who has had a super game tonight. Dedrick Poole, 2 touchdown runs, and then one run of 60 yards plus, one run of about 45, 46 yards, and a bunch of yards for Poole, and a 35-7 lead for his team.
Well, you can see that play right there and his desire to stay on his feet. He's tough to bring down.
Second down, 9 for Central. McGee, the fullback, Poole, the tailback. Central quarterback is Sullivan. Handoff McGee, and Nick McGee has a 6-yard gain. He's to the 30-yard line. That'll bring up a third down and about 4 for the Tigers. Clock running at 8:20, third period. Quick handoff, McGee up the middle.
Rollins in on the stop, and that's what you got to do. You wrap up their legs. They can't run without him, and so Rollins doing a good job right there, senior.
Central faces third down. Central's second possession of the second half. Scored on the first one. Still the same look as early in the game. Sullivan, McGee, and this guy, Dedrick Poole, with the ball. Bumps it outside, now cuts it back. Watch out for Dedrick. Tripped up finally, and Poole tried to make something happen, and maybe a gain of a half a yard on the play.
Pretty spectacular half-yard gain by Dedrick Poole. Try to make something happen going around to the other side. We take a look at it right here. This is just a credit to his athleticism. And trying to get around to the left side. Nothing going on right there. Let me pop around here back and see if there's something going on. No, okay, I'll go back, and finally gets tripped up, but pretty athletic half-yard gain.
He had one of those earlier that resulted in a nice gain. Brings up fourth down and about 3 for the Tigers. Sullivan will throw on fourth down. Whips it out. And dropped again. That is 5 as I count. 5 drop balls by Central receivers. And that time Chris Winfrey could not find the handle.
Well, and that they've got to catch the football on plays like that. This is a game where they're on top 35-7 and possibly a lack of concentration. But Winfrey is a senior on this football team, 6'2", 180 pounds, and he has got to catch those footballs, as does Keith Williams, who's dropped a couple earlier on. So they've got to catch the football. They still have some work to do, and they still got some season to play here, and try to get better each and every game, each and every play as they work towards the playoffs.
That was a fourth down play. This makes it 1st and 10 for Parkview. So the ball goes to the Patriots. They're way down in the game. James fakes it, now runs the option left side. Pitch, and he's got first down yardage on the run for Parkview is 32. Jeff Omal, and a Patriot first down on the option.
Well, Central starting to insert some of their underclassmen and get them some playing time on defense. Gets the pitch around to the side here, kind of holding it the old proverbial loaf of bread, but tucks it up underneath when it counts, and knocked out of bounds for the first down.
Omal, a 6'1", 180-pound senior for Parkview, had a first down rush and has the ball at the 42-yard line. The Parkview 42, 1st and 10. Patriots behind by a bunch here, third quarter from Quigley Stadium. Handoff, Omal again, no gain on the play. And in to make the first hit for the Tigers was 7, Eddie Robinson.
Good play, Robinson staying home, and that's what's critical. If you've got a strong side linebacker, just maintains his lane and maintains the outside, comes up strong, and picture perfect tackle by Robinson right there.
Clock's at 6:27, third quarter. Parkview faces a 2nd and 10 from its 42. And again, 3 backs in the backfield, with the quarterback O'Neal in the middle. Fakes the handoff, runs the option left side. O'Neal tucks it up and keeps it. Gain of less than a yard will bring up 3rd down for the Patriots.
Number 90 in on the play, Deshaun Jackson. Good-looking player, junior, 6'2", 220 pounds. Just one of 3 Tigers in on the stop.
Brings up 3rd down for Parkview. They split backs out to the left side, and then running backs stay in the backfield. And again, the familiar formation in this game with James in the middle. Drops back to pass. Both his backs block, and the pass caught near first down yardage.
Boy, that's a great effort. Isaac Ross, I believe, up underneath. On the play, I tell you what, a lot of Tigers around. Actually, that was Calvin Moore on the reception. A lot of Tigers around him right here. Goes up and gets the football. Had Demetrius Baker all over him. Then he has a presence of mind to carry a couple of guys across the first down yardage. Picks up a first down. Great effort by Calvin Moore on the play.
We have seen Moore with a touchdown catch, and that time a catch for a first down for Parkview. 5 minutes to play, third quarter. Patriots behind 35-7, trying to mount a comeback. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Bryant was in the pattern. He was the only player close. And then the quarterback took a pretty good shot. Antoine James did as he released the ball.
Well, he knew those guys were coming on him quickly, and he did a good job of just staying in that pocket and getting rid of that football. As you can see right here, big number 90, Deshaun Jackson, bearing down on him. And Blaine Siegel, an opportunity to intercept that football in and out of his hands. He knew he had an opportunity right there.
Patriots face second down 10. James drops back to throw again. Looks left side, has a man, pass complete out of the 40-yard line. And who's on the receiving end that time, Scott? Was that two once again? Two, Isaac Ross?
Isaac Ross. Michael Pleasant in on the stop along with Siegel for the Tigers.
So Parkview's moving the football. This drive started at their own 35-yard line. They're in Central High territory. Third down 3 for the Patriots. James. Now pitch, right side, short of first down yardage as the ball goes to Nick Kroom. And they faked the inside handoff and went option right side, but Kroom is short of the first down.
The fake handoff right there. James coming around with the option play, pitching it out to Crooms, but Central Stephen Agnew right there come up with a good stop, and Ramon Fawcett helping him clean up.
4th and 1 for Parkview. Clock ticking at 4:05 for the Patriots. And they send Isaac Ross out wide to the left side. Wide right is Calvin Moore on 4th and 1. Still from the shotgun. James will run it on 4th and 1. And he is stopped short of the first down by a good 2 yards. Parkview's defense makes the play, rather Central's defense makes the play.
Well, Deshaun Jackson doing a good job one more time. Coming around the end and gets in the backside of the blockers, so they were ineffective, and comes up with a stop behind the line. Turnover on downs for Parkview Patriots.
3:48 and Central has the football back. Third quarter action. We have not seen any subbing yet in the offensive backfield for center. Still Sullivan, your quarterback. McGee, the fullback, and Poole, the tailback for the Tigers. And now Derek Mason comes wide to the left. Sullivan, handoff, McGee. McGee churns ahead. He's got a good 8 or 9 yard gain. Nick McGee for the Tigers.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised to see Dedrick Poole still in there. Not to question Bernie Cox by any stretch, but I don't expect Dedrick Poole to get a whole lot of more, too many more carries in this football game before he takes a breather for the rest of the night.
He's had another big game, a couple of big gains, a pair of touchdowns, a 2-point conversion. Day at the office for Dedrick Poole, Jr. Lined up as the tailback on 2nd down and 1 for the Tigers. Sullivan fakes the handoff to Poole. Long pass over the middle. Pass incomplete. The pass was intended for 11, Derek Mason.
Mason downfield had a couple of guys on him, Patriots, and number 24. Well, Calvin Moore was one of them back. No 24 on our roster, so. But Sullivan throwing into traffic a little bit. A little bit overthrown.
Central faces 3rd and 1. Sullivan under center. Poole, first down, gain of 5, gain of 10, and an 11-yard gain for Dedrick Poole to the 39-yard line of Little Rock Parkview.
Well, the key right now is obviously just moving the offense a little bit and making sure that you don't get lazy mentally, because that's when injuries start happening, and still maintain your blocks, get your blocks out there, and execute offensively, because the first team is still out there. So getting some work done, and Bertie Cox wants to see them execute late in the football game.
Tigers from the 40. McGee, 5-yard gain, churns up the middle. Helping make the stop for Parkview is big 90, Marcus Twilley, 6'1" and 180.
Coming up the rest of the season, Little Rock Central, they got pretty, one of their tougher tests as the season comes to a close here in the next 3 weeks. But they were at North Little Rock, and that will present a challenge to them. And then they finish out the season at home against McClellan, and then at Hall.
Handoff, Poole, brought down, very little gain. He didn't get tackled one-on-one a lot, and making the tackle was Lawrence Bryant of Parkview.
Not only one-on-one, but certainly a very short yardage. Parkview, the remainder of their season, they are at Mountain Home next week. Then they will play at home against North Little Rock, and then finish out the season at McClellan on November the 2nd. That is a Thursday night.
Central 3rd and 3. Still the same formation in the backfield. They run the option right side to Poole. Poole's got a first down yardage. 25, approaching the 20. Loses a man, 15, 10. Derek Poole smells the end zone, but is stopped at the 5-yard line. Dedrick Poole can't quite find the end zone. Another nice gain for the junior running back. A 26-yard gain for Poole.
Well, there's a flag on the play, so we'll see what this is all about. But Dedrick Poole had it all on this play. The open field, and took the pitch, had this man to beat right here, did so, popped to the outside, good stiff arm right there, and then kind of a stop and start as caught that defender off guard and worked his way down the sidelines, but they will bring this one back as they're stepping it off against Little Rock Central.
Yep. Central now a total of 40 yards in penalties 3 times, and a clip against the Tigers. Oh, I'm glad the band didn't leave.
Still there. Still there.
That means it's 3rd down and 5 for Central following the penalty. Sullivan looks to pass. Has a man pass complete to Williams, and he has first down yardage.
That one, receiver Derek Mason
rather.
on the reception, but he did a great job right here. The pass was a little bit underthrown, but Derek Mason, being a senior that he is, made sure of this catch, got down on his knees and made sure he cradled that and kept his arms underneath the football. Good reception by Derek Mason.
5 Central High first downs in the second half. Clock is at 45 seconds, 3rd quarter. And somebody right side of the line jumped. And looked like the offending player was Rodney Matthews.
False start, they'll step that one off and make Central go 15 yards for a first down this time, something that they certainly can do. Time winding down in this 3rd quarter.
Tigers had a lead, 27-7 at halftime, and 35-7 is the margin right now with 34 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. First down and 15, Central. Sullivan, pump fake. Sullivan throws long toward the end zone. Pass is incomplete and intended for Derek Mason near the goal line.
Well, from a safety spot, Calvin Moore did a great job of coming over and providing some help for Parkview. As you can see right here, the pump fake by Sullivan. Throws it up, had Derek Mason open briefly, but you see Calvin Moore coming across and got a hand on it and almost came up with the interception. But good read by Calvin Moore coming over from a safety spot.
Nice play. 19 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd down, 15 for the Central High Tigers. Sullivan, pitch, Poole, fakes the handoff. Dedrick will keep. Dedrick will go, still going, 10-5, touchdown, Dedrick Poole. He races 30 yards for his third touchdown of the game and a 42-7 or a 41-7 Central lead.
Well, the fake reverse is Dedrick Poole kept it this time. Had a huge open field in front of him, made one guy miss, and that was all she wrote as he found the end zone. As we catch the tail end of this one right here, just does get across and says, that's enough, and I'll go back and sit down and take a breather.
And that may be it. He scores the touchdown, 9 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and it makes it 41-7 Tigers. And they're going to try a new extra point man here. 19 is Seth Cooper, a 5'10", 180-pound senior. So Cooper is on to try the PAT. The ball is bounced to Sullivan. Josh will now try and make 2 out of it. Pass into the end zone, incomplete. Check for penalty flags, and nothing. So the snap back and Cooper's shot at the extra point was not to be, and it's a 41-7 Central High score.
Well, they got a new guy in, Seth Cooper, but in fairness to Chris Burks, the same thing happened to him on his second PAT attempt. Snap and the hold weren't efficient, and he didn't have time to get the kickoff, so the same thing resulted right here. But that's not going to be a factor in the football game here tonight. 41-7, Central on top.
And Bernie Cox on his way to win 203. Cox, who started coaching here in the mid-'70s, has seen some great players come and go. He has 202 wins right now, 85 losses, and a whole season almost of ties, 8 ties in that time. And he's got a good combination here with Dedrick Poole and some other talented people like Mason and Williams, McGee, and then Sullivan, a quarterback who appears to be able to make things happen, Scott.
Absolutely. He's done a great job of throwing the football. Good strong arm, too, as he steps up in the pocket and lets it fly and hitting his receivers. So he's got good vision of the field, and when you got a guy in the backfield like Dedrick Poole, it makes it a little bit easier to run those play actions and find your receivers downfield.
The main scoreboard just went dark. Now it came back up. All right, 9 seconds to play, third quarter, and a 41-7 Central High Tiger lead as the band gets back into it on homecoming night at Central. It's a pretty good boot right there.
It is a good boot. That goes into the end zone.
Man.
That's an automatic touchback in high school football. Dedrick Poole now has 14 touchdowns on the season. He needs 7 more to tie his production from a year ago, 8 more to break his record from last season of 21 touchdowns. And with 3 games remaining, certainly a goal that is well within his reach.
The last drive capped off by the Dedrick Poole 30-yard run for the touchdown on the 41-7 Central Tiger lead. So now Parkview trying to play out the third quarter here and put some points on the board and try and build for their next game. Parkview next week will play at Mountain Home. Central next week is at North Little Rock. 9 seconds, third quarter. James pass as a receiver and complete and out of bounds, and with the catch is Walter Walkwee. We were told he wouldn't play, but he sure is out there.
Well, that's
I got the wrong.
Ricky Fields.
I'm sorry,
Fields.
Scott.
No, Ricky Fields on the other end of that pass, and close to first down yardage before he's wrestled out of bounds.
And Ricky Fields is going to play. 5 seconds to play, third quarter. Walkwee, who is 88 for Central, is not going to play. Has a back injury. His younger brother, Kenneth, a sophomore, still on the ball club. Our best to Walter Walkwee. 5 seconds to play, third quarter. James with time, pass, complete, and first down yardage. The completion is to Calvin Moore. And that's the end of the third period. So Parkview ends the third quarter with a first down pass. We finished 3. It's all Central so far. Central 41 and Parkview 7. Back with the fourth quarter on Comcast Football, coming to you from Quigley Stadium.
Get the personal touch at Razorback Car Wash and Quick Lube. Our Quick Lube features Quaker State quality products. Get a 14-point check from our trained professionals and a great oil change with Quaker State oil. Then come next door for an all-soft cloth car wash, cleaned inside and out while you wait in our comfortable waiting area. Razorback Car Wash and Quick Lube and Quaker State. Now that's the personal touch.
Razorback Car Wash and Quick Lube. Home of the personal touch. Razorback.
New seasons, bring new reasons to call Wally.
Rick, you're on the air.
Yeah, I was at the Hogs game Saturday.
Greg, you're on the air.
I've been following ULR for years.
Can he be czar of the BCS and czar of the Southeastern Conference? The man's 69 years old, for crying out loud.
The Wally Hall Show, Sundays at 6, only on Comcast Channel 18.
Fourth quarter underway from Quigley. 41-6, all Little Rock Central so far. And Parkview has the football. And they got the ball at the 41-yard line.
Well, Anton James doing as good a job as that he could possibly do for Parkview at quarterback tonight, going the distance. As we mentioned, they oftentimes have a 2-quarterback rotation. Vernon Kennebrew played some quarterback last week as well.
Pitch to Omal. He's got running room, gain of about 7. And takes it to the 35-yard line, or 45-yard line.
Quick pitch around to the outside. 32 Jeff Omal, senior, 6'1", 180 pounds for Parkview. Trying to find some more running room before a slew of black jerseys bring him down. Now for the first down, though. Actually, yeah, it should be a first down.
That's Parkview's third first down of the second half. Patriots 1st and 10. And they're in Central Territory. Pitch, it's Omal again. Omal's got more yardage. Another nice gain, about 7 yards for Omal.
Same play from the last time and had some success, so why not run it again? And they do, and pretty good yardage. About 6 on the play.
Parkview's one touchdown came early in the second quarter. Pass from James to Calvin Moore. At that point made it 14-7, and it's been totally Central Tigers since then. Second down for Parkview. Fake of the pitch, then an inside handoff. And with the ball, the carrier is Nick Kroom for Parkview. Short gain, short of a first down.
Well, Parkview had that solid drive, and I think caught Central just a little bit off guard, and certainly woke their defense up a little bit, and Parkview has not been successful since that point.
Clock running at 9:44, and Central getting to play a few more players in this game. And still Parkview going with its top quarterback, Antoine James, trailing 41-7 at the 9.5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. He's got an eye in the backfield, and receivers split out to either side. Will pass and is snowed under. Big loss on the play. A loss of about 10. Straight drop back and a nice defensive play by Central. Helping make the play is Blaine Siegel.
Well, certainly an all-out blitz, and Siegel just hit the hole great on that play and found his way through and came up with a big sack for Central. Siegel's a sophomore, 5'11", 190 pounds, good-looking linebacker, as I mentioned, the son of Coach Larry Siegel.
Parkview's going to punt. 8:48 to play, third quarter. Low line drive kick. Takes a hop. The ball is fielded by Devin Morris. Morris pushed out of bounds left side, and Central will take over with 8.5 to play, fourth quarter, and the Tigers on top 41-7. Morris, 5'6", 150, and dragged out of bounds.
Well, Dedrick Poole is not in the huddle, and I believe he'll probably be done for the night. Sullivan still in at quarterback.
And the Tigers take over from their own 28-yard line. Handoff, tailback, maybe a yard on the play.
Eddie Robinson in at tailback now, senior, 5'11", 175 pounds. George Pree, number 8, is the sophomore fullback in, blocking for Robinson right now. So getting some of the younger guys some work. And into the ball game for Central, Richard Townsend, listed as a defensive back.
And Bernie Cox watching his team win its 6th game of the season. They're going to improve to 6-1 and 4-0 in the 5A Central. 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers. For Central to keep the ball on the ground. Pitch left side, lost the handle. Out of bounds will belong to Central, but it was off the fingertips of Robinson, and then the ball went out of bounds.
Sullivan coming around and making the pitch, and was going to make that pitch all along, a little bit behind Robinson, the running back, could not get a hand on it and bring it in. Fortunately for Central, the ball goes out of bounds and they retain possession. About a 3-yard loss on the play.
I think it hit him right in the ear hole. Bernie Cox is thinking you need to make that play. Play clock clicking down to 10 seconds, 7:50 to play, 4th quarter. 202, 85, and 8 for Bernie Cox.
That's a lot of success at one school.
Sullivan fakes the toss, now passes long, has a man, overthrew him. And the pass intended for Devin Morris.
Morris looking over his left shoulder, ball thrown over his right shoulder, got turned around a little bit there. Fake pitch, and Sullivan drops back, looks left, throw the secondary off a little bit, and then heaves it right. Just to the outside, as you can see right there. Morris got turned around. This ball a little bit overthrown.
And Scott, perhaps Coach Cox's thinking is the running game has been great tonight, but the passing game, while Sullivan's put the ball on the money a number of times, the receivers have dropped it. So he may throw the ball some here late in this game, not want to run the score up, but just work on the passing offense.
Well, absolutely. They started their passing attack with a lot of success, but over the last quarter and a half, they've dropped a lot of passes, and it's not been as effective.
Tigers punted the ball on 4th and long, and the ball takes a big old Parkview bounce, and the Patriots will have great field position with 7.5 to play on the Central punt. And Parkview will take over right around midfield. This football game, important for Central because if it keeps winning, it can have home field advantage as long as it stays alive in the playoffs. And Parkview battling and trying to win its 2nd game of the year. It's not going to happen tonight. And then Parkview will end the season with Mountain Home, North Little Rock, and McClellan.
For Central, their toughest test the rest of the season will probably come next week against North Little Rock at North Little Rock. And North Little Rock is certainly a team that we've had on Comcast earlier this year, beating Hall, and a team that has a lot of talent that could jump up and beat Central next week if Central's not prepared for the football game.
That pitch was to the tailback, Omal, gain of about 6 on the play. And Parkview started the drive in really good field position. They started the Central 49-yard line. The one Parkview touchdown came a long time ago, early in the 2nd period, on a touchdown pass from James to Calvin Moore, and that made it 14-7. Everything Central since that point. Central has scored the next 4 touchdowns to lead it now 41-7. 2nd and 4 for the Patriots. James, your quarterback, pitch to Omal, runs right side. Omal, 1st down yardage.
Well, Taylor, Omal has really done a good job in the 2nd half of carrying the football and has added a spark to the running game. Did not see him much in the 1st half carry the football, but he's carried it several times in the 2nd half and has picked up good yardage most every carry that he's had. Quick pitch out to primarily this play right here, the pitch out to the right side. Omal finding room and trying to spread it out to the right side, cuts it upfield and picks up some good yardage for 1st down.
Had Curtis Tate leading the way with the blocking. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Check that for the Patriots. Omal, running room, gain of 9. Opening some holes for Jeff Omal, and he's near 1st down yardage as the clock ticks now with 6:25 to play, 4th quarter.
Finding some running room around the right side several occasions. This one a direct handoff and Good blocking up front by Parkview, number 77, big number 77, Andre Anderson, 300-pounder. He can move some people.
And Parkview looking ahead at a game that's probably winnable next week at Mountain Home. They have struggled. Then North Little Rock will be tough, and they close the season with McClellan. 2nd down and 1 for the Patriots. O'Neal handoff. O'Maul, or check that. That was James handoff O'Maul. And he is near first down yardage, but not much of a gain.
Next week we will get our second look at the McClellan Lions. Lost to Fair earlier this season. They will host Little Rock Catholic, who's had struggles of their own this season.
Yeah, they have. Just one win so far for Catholic this year. 5.5 to play in this one, 41-7 Central. The team playing defense right now, and it brings up a 3rd down and less than a yard for Little Rock Parkview. And James in the backfield with a pair of backs on either side. Fakes the handoff. James wants to throw. And the pass nearly intercepted. Defending on the play, Demetrius Baker of the Tigers.
Well, he had that one in his hands, and Calvin Moore turned receiver, turned defender on that play. Anton James just throwing this one up there and had the man downfield, a little bit underthrown, and you can see right there Baker had his hands on it but could not hold it, could not keep it.
Brings up 4th down, less than a yard for Parkview. And 5:09 to play 4th quarter. Donaldson is the tailback on 4th and short. Surge, quarterback sneak by James should have first down yardage as the clock ticks down around the 5-minute mark.
That will stop the clock for a little bit while they move the chains. Good opportunity to talk about the crew that makes it happen every week on Comcast High School Football 2000. Executive producer is Dan Heckey. Director tonight is Steven Spears. Joseph Smith is out, and our prayers go out to him. He's had a death in the family. Steven Spears doing a great job punching the buttons tonight.
Finish that thought in a second. 1st and 10 for Parkview. Pass complete. Donaldson's going to find the end zone. Touchdown.
There you go.
That's a 27-yard reception for a touchdown, and they found Donaldson on the quick look. It's a touchdown for the Patriots to make it a 41-13 Central lead.
I believe that was Ricky Fields on the reception. I tell you what, Fields was pretty much wide open right there, and didn't see any black jerseys around him, and just hightailed it to the end zone. And Parkview's 2nd touchdown of the night, 2nd receiving touchdown of the night as well.
It was Fields, 5'7", listed at 120. He looks bigger than that.
Yes, he does.
That can't be right. He was 88 Fields with the catch. He's got to be bigger than that. Can't be. Something's wrong.
Something is wrong there.
But 88 did make the catch. And the program says Ricky Fields, so we'll count it as that. 41-13. It was a 26-yard hookup, and Parkview on the board for the first time since early in the 2nd quarter. Patriots try to add, and they do, and make it a 41-14 ball game on the extra point by the player listed as Ricky Fields, 5'7", 120. I don't think so.
That's not 120.
No, that's a 6'3", 200 if I've ever seen anybody like that. So that may not be Ricky Fields, but the program says it is. 41-14, 4:40 to play. And the game all Central until Parkview scores here earlier, midway through the end of the 4th quarter.
We finish out the crew that does a great job on Comcast Cable. Running the audio is Tanja Enoch. Slow-mo, Robert Addington tonight. Doing your graphics, Charles Jordan. Camera folks tonight, Kelly Eamon, Charles Harshaw, and down on the field, Troy Thompson, all three doing a great job. Assistant tonight is Barbara Bowman, and as always, engineering is provided by the Field Shop.
Folks do a marvelous job, and they're fun to work with. We appreciate it. We'll be out the next 3 weeks doing high school football. Hope we come to your neighborhood.
4 games in the next 3 weeks. Going to be pretty busy.
And we're going to see this Central team again, and it may be a team you follow into the playoffs. In fact, it will be a playoff team. It just depends on where Central ends up in the playoffs. If they keep winning, what will happen for the Central Tigers is they will likely, in the first round of the playoffs, take on the number 4 team from the East, probably Jonesboro, West Memphis. If they win that game, they play the number 2 team from the West, either North Side, South Side, or Springdale.
Well, certainly when you get in the playoffs, you're not as concerned about who you play, but they've already played West Memphis one time this season, had a tough time before prevailing 35-21 to start this season. So maybe not a team that you want to face again, especially when a guy rushes for 310 yards against you.
Parkview goes for the onside kick. Tell you what, 30 quick points and they're back in this game.
It could happen.
I guess as soon as I say it couldn't happen, it'll start happening, and we're here for the rest of the night. I was broadcasting that baseball game that went 15 innings at Ray Winder Field this past year for the radio station in Tulsa, and I made the mistake of saying when the Travelers had a lead late in the game, this game is over, and sure enough, Tulsa came back and tied the game, and it almost went 16 innings. So you never say anything can't happen. But Central has the football. And still Sullivan at quarterback. Dedrick Poole taking a rest. And the handoff and a nice gain on the carry for Central is Will McClinton, 26, 5'7", 135. And McClinton has first down yardage. First down number 7 in the second half for the Central Tigers.
Central,
he's a player.
Yeah, he is. They've got a lot of players on this football team. They've got a lot of guys who can carry the football. Number 26, Will McClinton, sophomore, has not had a lot of carries, so he always enjoys seeing a lopsided game like this so he can get some touches on the football.
A new Central quarterback drops the football. And this is unusual. The quarterback is 82, Greg Baber, listed as a tight end. You don't see many quarterbacks with number 82.
And that might explain his unsure handling of the football. Big tight end. It's like a catcher coming in to clean up on the mound, pitching a little bit, huh?
And we'll see. Clock's at 3:44. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Pitch. And with the run, it's McClinton. And he is thrown for a loss, maybe 2 yards on the play. Helping make the tackle, Ivan Rollins for Parkview.
Well, as the season comes down to an end, Bernie Cox has said this is a very talented team, and obviously we've seen that tonight, both offensively and defensively. They can throw the football, run the football, but it's a team that can do a lot of things, and we talked about their earlier loss in the season, and probably a good thing. It's always difficult to go the regular season undefeated and then duplicate that in the regular season. When the teams get better, the competition gets tougher to remain undefeated. And so they've experienced that loss already, and the tight end has thrown a pass out of bounds.
82's got an arm. Greg Baber downfield. Pass intended for 9. Chris Winfrey incomplete. Clock stops at 2:50. And flags on the play. 3rd and 15 from Central, but a motion penalty against the Tigers is declined by the Patriots.
Well, one thing that Central offers, too, that will give them some diversity on offense is they've got a couple quarterbacks who can both run the offense very well. And we've seen Josh Sullivan do that tonight on several occasions this season. Derek Mason has been the guy, the senior at quarterback. He's played exclusively at wide receiver tonight. But it gives them some different looks. And Derek Mason, more of a running quarterback, and Josh Sullivan can certainly throw the football, but it gives defenses something to think about as they're preparing for Central.
Seth Cooper is lined up to punt. Cooper came on for the extra point a few minutes ago, didn't get a chance to kick the ball. Now Seth will try and execute a punt with 2:50 to play in the fourth quarter, and his team way ahead, 41-14. Penalty flags, and I think they took too much time.
Well, obviously Bernie Cox shuffling in a lot of players, and these guys are not usually in situations like this. Central's played some close games this football season, so when that happens, they don't see a lot of playing time, but this play will go against them. They ran the clock out, and they'll mark it back 5, but nothing that's going to kill the Central Tigers here.
It's interesting, the guy who was playing quarterback, 82, Greg Baber, is the deep snapper. So we know he can throw it. He can at least pitch the ball about 12 or 13 yards. Gets a nice spiral back to Cooper. Cooper gets the kick away. hangs high and then takes a Central High bounce down near the 15, 14-yard line where the Tigers will down the football, and Parkview will take over with 1st and 10 from way back and 2:37 to play in a 41-14 game with Central on top. Punt went for 47 yards. It's a nice kick by Cooper.
Had a pretty good 20-yard roll on that one, too, so that never hurts.
Let's see if Coach Ernest McGee goes with some difference at quarterback. Nope, James is still there. And he sees some great success at running back from Omal, and Omal is one of the running backs, along with 40, Nick Kroom in the backfield for Parkview. This is Omal. Back to the line of scrimmage just barely for Omal.
Blaine Siegel in the backfield once again for Central, coming up with a stop.
Parkview had used 2 quarterbacks last week. James shared time with Vernon Kennebrew, but he is out with a sprained ankle. And so far, James has gone all the way at quarterback for Parkview. Clock at the 2-minute mark, 4th quarter, and a 41-14 Central High lead. James, handoff, Omal. No gain on the play.
Pretty good homecoming crowd on hand for Central tonight. You crown the queen this evening, Kristen Kitterman. Big night for her.
Central team has had 1 loss this season, El Dorado. Wildcats won that one 10-7. They scored on a fake punt to take the lead and ended up giving Central its only loss of the year. James wants to throw. Has a man complete, but short of first down yardage. Does he have? Yes, he does have first down yardage. With the catch is Calvin Moore, who has the touchdown catch in this game for Parkview as well.
You mentioned that loss to El Dorado, 10-7. That's one of those games where they wish they could have it back because their defense played solid football. They sacked El Dorado 7 times during the game, but offense was not on that week. They mentioned earlier, fumbled the football 9 times, lost 4 of those fumbles, and Poole had 3 of those fumbles of his own. So,
clock down to 42 seconds. Jeff Omal, gain of 3 on the play, and there will likely be 1 more play in this game. That'll be it. We're now down around 30 seconds in this Central Parkview game, with the Tigers about to roll on to a 41-14 win and improve their record 6-1. Clock's at 15 seconds, and in fact the clock can run out and there will not be another play in the game because the play clock is at 12 now and the game clock at 8, and that'll be it. Bernie Cox will win number 203 and improve to 203, 85-8, and that's your ball game. So Central gets touchdowns from Dedrick Poole 3 times, 2 Josh Sullivan touchdown passes, and they beat Parkview 41-14 in a game that really didn't have much drama in it, Scott. It's been Central pretty much from the get-go.
Yeah, the only drama was how many yards Dedrick Poole was going to get, and if they threw, how many points they would put on the board, and certainly everything we expected tonight, Taylor. Dedrick Poole, a lot of running from him, and some good passing from Josh Sullivan. So this will be an exciting team to watch the rest of this season as they go into the playoffs, and we will get one more look at him before this regular season is over.
Bernie Cox, Norm Calloway, the rest of the Central coaches shaking hands with the good sports from Parkview, Ernest McGee and his bunch. Central, though, all the way tonight, 41-14. With the win, the Tigers are 6-1, and Parkview drops to 1-6. 41-14 is your final. We'll come back and wrap it up from Quigley Stadium after this timeout.
Everyone's talking about the new Riverfront Steakhouse in the Hilton Inn, North Little Rock. We're famous for our USDA prime steaks from Chicago, like this filet mignon in 3 sizes starting at $16.95. And we're very proud of our 24-ounce prime rib for $22.95 that's big enough for two to share. And some of the biggest, most delicious cold water lobster tails ever served anywhere. Visit the Riverfront Steakhouse, Hilton Inn, North Little Rock.
I'd say this is as fine a restaurant as there is anywhere in Pulaski County.
Experience the power of effective television advertising solutions with Comcast Cablevision of Arkansas. Your commercial can be aired on all the most watched cable channels. Cable television advertising is surprisingly affordable and the most powerful way to reach your direct audience. For a free personal consultation profile for your company, call Barbara Bowman at 212-1138. Comcast Cable Advertising, connecting you to effective advertising solutions that work.
Final score from Central High School. Central Tigers beat the Parkview Patriots 41-14. Taylor Carr and Scott Philbrook describing the action. Scott, is this a Central team that can make a good run in the playoffs?
I believe it is. I believe they've got great balance both offensively and defensively. They've got a lot of weapons on offense, and obviously one of those weapons is Dedrick Poole, and he showed tonight why he is so highly recruited. Just really a great athlete, and he's got all the tools. He's got speed, he's got strength, and we saw both of those examples tonight. And he's got great vision of the football field, and he can run the power move when he has to, right up the middle, using his strong legs to get some yardage. Covers his blockers, but he can also pop it to the outside. He's got swift feet and can get around the corner and use his speed to get down the sidelines, and we saw both aspects of that tonight.
Poole had 3 touchdown runs, one in the first quarter, one in the second, one in the third. He also scored a 2-point conversion and had a couple of long runs, one of 40-plus and one of 60-plus, so he is a threat, and he was one of the reasons why Central High rolled tonight. But Scott, tonight Parkview threw 2 touchdown passes, James to Moore one time, James to Fields one time. So they're a team that could score some points and might have a challenge next week at Mountain Home.
Well, and those touchdown passes were things of beauty, as we see Dedrick Poole right there, but Josh Sullivan threading the needle to Derek Mason one time, and then to Keith Williams another time, and really wasn't his fault that the passing game suffered there towards the end of the football game as some of his receivers dropped the ball, but he had a good strong arms, got a good drop back pass, and when they want to throw in that running quarterback as well, Derek Mason, to get a little different look on the offense if they're struggling a little bit. So defenses will have to prepare for a couple different quarterbacks and a couple different offenses for these Central Tigers. So they should be a team to be reckoned with as we go towards the end of the season and into the playoffs, and we will get one more look before the playoffs begin as Central takes on Hall to end the season, regular season, on November the 3rd, Friday night.
Tigers get the win. They go 6-1. Patriots fall. They're 1-5. Patriots are also 1-3 in the 5A Central, and Central improves to 4-0. Next week, Catholic at McClellan. We'll see you here for the broadcast. Scott, enjoyed it as always.
A pleasure being with you again on a beautiful night for football and some good talent on the field.
And good talent in the booth as well. Well, not exactly. I meant
Half.
good talent in the truck. Nice job by the crew. Is always a good job. Central wins at 41-14 for Scott Philbrook and the entire Comcast crew. So long tonight from Quigley Stadium.